Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to not shy away from being vulnerable or putting yourself out there in the dating world. I know firsthand how scary it can be to potentially put yourself in a situation where I will have an opportunity to experience all the discomfort of my childhood. I did not know this at the time because every time I would enter a connection, a romantic relationship, whatever you want to call it, or the possibility there, the potential of, I would become completely dysregulated. My nervous system would essentially freak out. And I realized that what was happening was that my nervous system was gearing up to essentially recapitulate, as they say in the counseling world, familiar childhood events that took place that created my abandonment wound, my rejection wound, my not enoughness, my not worthiness. So every time I would meet someone, even though every cell of my body was so excited for finally to have an opportunity to have those childhood unmet needs met deep down on a cellular level, it was super scary at the same time to put myself in that position where I would experience my abandonment wound, my rejection wound all over again, because I realized if I don't heal my abandonment wound and my rejection wound, what would end up happening is it would just keep showing up in my connections, and I would just be shown by the universe, greater power, source, energy, God, whatever your beautiful heart resonates with. So essentially, I would still be shown that, hey, Anna, like this is still alive within you. There's still rejection wound, abandonment wounds. Your nervous system is not regulated yet. You haven't changed your insecure attachment style to a secure attachment style. Your sense of self is probably still here, and you're putting everyone else in a pedestal, and you're just waiting for that corrective experience that you weren't able to have with your primary caregivers, aka my mom and my dad. So this is Anna Morfides with Mending Hearts Counseling, creating an episode for living your best life. And what other way than to continue cultivating the life that we want to live, especially in the romantic world, right? Like, what do we want to experience in the romantic world? I know what I want to experience in the romantic world. I want to experience stability. I want to experience consistency. I want to experience respect, communication. And the things that I don't want to feel is too much, too needy. I don't want to have this fear alive in me all the time that if I show up and if they get to know me, they're going to run away, which is how I used to operate before. That is a lot of pressure to put on our nervous system. So once we realize that we have full control and power in healing any of these uncomfortable thoughts, feelings, behaviors that we might do, behaviors meaning such as checking your phone all the time, or you might starting to feel like anxious and or anxiety creeping in. Are they gonna like me? Is this gonna be the one? Is this gonna be working out? Are they gonna run away like the rest, or is it gonna be me putting in more? Are they into me as much as I am into them? Like all these questions and or uncomfortable feelings and thoughts that we get, if we work through those, then we can create a more of a safe nervous system, I actually wrote this down. Like, I was very inspired by many things that were going on in my life recently, with friends and people I work with, and or actually some check-ins that were happening within my schooling environment today. Cultivating the trust in staying regulated in our nervous system when we put ourselves in that scary position to be vulnerable, meaning you're opening up yourself to the opportunity of a new relationship. But if you have an anxious attachment style and or rejection and or abandonment wounds as a child, or you don't have a positive self-view, or your self-concept is that of like, I am unlovable, I'm not worthy, the chances that you're gonna feel those unmet childhood needs by your opening of your vulnerability to potentially receive everything that you've been yearning for so far, like we said, consistency and respect and communication, adoration, like whatever it is. When we put ourselves out there to potentially recapitulate our childhood unmet needs, that's a very, very scary thing to do. And that's why a lot of the people close off. I mean, I know for sure that I would want to do that. I would rather not feel my uncomfortable feelings, not feel my fear of rejection and abandonment yet again. That is very dysregulating, and it takes over, and it is very consuming. So then I can't be a good employee, I can't be a good friend. It really takes the course of my day off of course. It's very dysregulating. So regulating our nervous system is the most beautiful thing that we can do. And one of the simplest ways to regulate the nervous system, first of all, is with breath. I find for myself anyways. Breathing really deep into my diaphragm. And then affirmations work really fantastical for me. Everything is always working out. Everything's happening for a reason. I am safe. And then I work on my abandonment and or rejection wounds by essentially eliminating them. And how did I eliminate my abandonment and my rejection wound? Well, my abandonment wound, I think I let it go just by knowing its presence. I had done some muscle testing. For any of those that don't know what muscle testing is, it's when a professional that knows how to do this modality tests the muscles, sometimes in your arm, and when you say a particular word that lives inside your body, that is like stored in your body and runs your nervous system, when that word comes up, your arm will go limp. So when the doctor that I was working with was trying to figure out what the word was, I remember when it was the third try, they said abandonment. My arm just collapsed and I started crying like I haven't cried like that in a very long time. This is just in 2023. Okay, that wasn't that long ago. So I was walking around with this abandonment wound, yeah, for a very long time. So it was always present in my nervous system, and I was expecting to be abandoned. Therefore, if we go into something with the expectation that we're going to be abandoned, guess what's going to happen? We're going to be rejected and abandoned, right? Because the expectation is there. It's almost like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, and I keep manifesting the same thing over and over until like I realized, and I released it. I realized that this like really lives strongly within my body. Like it had a permanent residence in here until I just set it free. And I said, you know what? You can live beside me, but just not inside of me anymore. Thank you so much. But like, I don't need you to protect me anymore because I'm okay. So now I don't have any expectations at all. And if I were to be in a position to, go out into the dating world, I think I would have an assurance and a faith that whatever is meant to happen for me is going to work out. I healed, yeah, my insecure attachment style. I listened to this meditation. I'm going to put it in the description box below, religiously, by Corey T. It's totally free on Facebook, on YouTube. What else did I do? I just did so much. Like I journaled, I did the 21-day self-love healing book by Louise Hay. I talk about this very often. I actually have it here available for you for free to do it with me every day. I'll link that too in the description box below. That way, the more self-assured and the more my self-confidence increased, and the more I became, essentially secure in who I am by reaffirming different things to myself, like I am beautiful, you are worthy, like I love you. Trying to really find out what is alive from within me still, in order for me to reframe it and let it go. And I've used modalities such as cognitive behavioral therapy to untwist unhelpful core beliefs that I had, such as like I'm a bad person, I'm a bad kid. Like I mean, these are the ones that I've been working on lately, but before that it was I'm unlovable, I'm not worthy to be loved by others. By doing the opposite work, like affirming the complete opposite, that I am worthy, I am loved, and then I would do that for myself, like, what am I worth? Am I worth going back to school? Am I worth sleeping more? Am I worth like trying this new exercise routine? Am I worth like eating like this? Am I worth to be eating organic? Like whatever it is, I'm gonna do that for myself. This came up in conversation. There was someone that was expressing that they're not loving right now the connection that they're in because they are feeling disrespected, and what was the other word? Oh, and inconsistent. We do mirror work. We can't control how other people are with us, but we can control what they are perhaps trying to show us. So, are there any places in our life that we are inconsistent? Are there any places in our life that we are being disrespectful to ourselves? Again, is it with like sleeping or eating? Are we disrespecting ourselves with our self-talk? Or where are we being inconsistent with ourselves? That is the things that we have power over. And that is another way of like applying mirror work. So then this experience becomes a gift, and the person and or situation that is showing you that uncomfortable feeling in the first place becomes a blessing. And then that saying, everything is happening for me, not to me, kicks in, and then boom, you have power and control over your life yet again. And then you use narrative therapy to create the narrative that you want. I was speaking with a beautiful classmate, and they were expressing that they wanted to bring romance back into their life, but they weren't sure what they even wanted. And then we were like, whoa, like, let's just use narrative therapy. Like, what do you want? You can be so detailed with your order that you're putting into the universe and have unwavering faith that you deserve it and you can have it. So what do you want? Do you want like a committed relationship? Do you want to be in more of a casual connection? Do you want it to be with someone that you can see once a week or twice a week? How are they communicating with you? Like, use narrative therapy, which essentially is writing out your story, and give yourself exactly what you want, but don't limit. Don't think that you can't have this. Oh, that will never work out. Oh, because it's a small town, or it's because I'm this, or I have children, or I'm this weight, or I have this color hair, or I'm this old, or I have wrinkles, or, there's what's the other one I've heard lately? Oh, there's no one to date. Like, I will never find that person. No, don't limit yourself. Like, the power of our mind is Like everything, the power of our mind is everything, right? Our thoughts are energy. Our thoughts produce our emotions, produce our behaviors. Our emotions, our energy and motion produce the field, the vibrational field, which becomes the point of attraction for us for experiences. And very often we're going to date who we are, not what we want. Sorry, not very often. That's what happens. We date who we are, not what we want. So if you want stability, if you want adoration, if you want all these to be cherished, like do that for yourself first. Recognize why you are feeling uncomfortable in certain situations, like if your anxiety is kicking in, that they're pulling away or they're pulling back, that most likely means to me that there's an anxious attachment style living within. And maybe we should add that to this video, actually, a link to the attachment style, because usually that's what that means. Anxiously attached individuals, and there's a few of us out there, about 20%, will have this unsatiable need to finally feel worthy and good enough and loved and lovable. And because it's the only one of the attachment style that has a negative self-view, it is very much dependent on other people's expressions of affinity, and or if they're liking you, if they're responding to you. It's very much dependent on that. So we want to cut that pattern out by raising your self-esteem and your self-worth and your self-concept by you doing your work on yourself, self-love. Use that 21-day workshop, and then somebody can be able to match the love that you have for yourselves, for yourself. Okay, we are at 16 minutes. I'm going to end my video here. I totally understand how uncomfortable it is to allow yourself to feel vulnerable, to experience connections, because of the fear that you're going to repeat the same patterns and or things that you have experienced in the past that get stored in our body. But the sure way to get out of that is if you change your inner state of being, you're going to change your outer state of being. So if you shift your frequency and your vibration, you're going to shift the experience that you're going to be having. That is for sure. And again, with meditation and journaling and gratitude and self-love and just doing the work. Actually, this is a really good book on how to do the work by Dr. Nicole Pera. How to do the work. Essentially, she's talks about the same things that I'm talking about. Recognizing your patterns, healing. Yeah, recognize your patterns. I was going to say healing your inner child, heal from your past, and create your new self. So who are you? Narrative therapy. I am a person that gets everything that she wants and desires because I am worthy of it. And like, I know even if I say that, even when I say that right now out loud, like there's a part of me that still doesn't believe it, because it's like, who the heck are you? But honestly, who the heck are we? We're like beautiful human beings put here on earth to understand that the big lesson, the learning lesson, and how you play the game of life is to know that you are an unlimited potential being that is worthy to experience everything. So remember this, and yeah, continue to create the narrative that you want to live. Really, I have so many videos that I've been putting out lately using a lot of the knowledge that we learn in school. Like our thoughts have so much power. What changes when we let go of attachments, because attachments is the cause of all suffering. No more seeking approval. Like how our consciousness shapes our reality. Like what is in your consciousness? Like what happens when we put other people on a pedestal? Like just so much. Thank you for this opportunity. Essentially to, I don't know, creator for like even allowing me to go back to school and being able to get further educated and continue to recognize my patterns and heal my past and create my new self. And then in turn, I can share this with you, my beautiful viewers. Thank you so much. If you liked anything about this, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on the podcast, I would love a thumbs up, subscription, comment, anything. I am grateful, and I will see you next time.